Today I'm going to tell you about the second Target liquidation pallets that I got. So here we go. If we haven't met before, I'm Kara from Flipping, Iowa. If you don't know what pallet flipping is, I have bought 2 Target liquidation pallets where it's been stuff that has either been returned to Target or the stuff that they've liquidated from last season. I was unable to unbox these on camera, so I'm just going to kind of tell you what was in my pallets and hopefully you find it helpful. The second pallet, the big ticket items I had were a nursery chair, a Paw Patrol lookout tower, an Our Generation doll camper RV. There was 3 bar stools, a yard snowman, a Christmas tree, curtains, a lamp, flatware, a wreath, garland, a tree stand, and a cooling gel mattress pad. The smaller stuff we had was a bunch of dog pajamas, clothing, glass jars, a picture ledge, gray blankets, some linens, and truck sheets. There were some sheets. We bought this pallet on December 5th, and we brought cash this time because if you go back to our first video, we bought a pallet, our first Target return pallet, on December 4th, and then we bought the second one on December 5th. Okay, so how we did with pallet number 2 with the numbers is we sold the nursery chair for $150. The Paw Patrol lookout tower, we actually kept that for my son. So we swapped a different one of his toys that we sold for $80. And I felt like since the Paw Patrol lookout tower retailed for $130, that was probably a fair swap. So the bar stools. These bar stools, my husband put one of them together. They were all 3 in the box. I really, really wanted to keep these bar stools because I've been wanting bar stools in our kitchen. They were cloth. They had backs on them. They were cute. They matched our couch. They were like this, pretty much the same color as our couch. And I sat on them for a little bit. I didn't post them for a while. But finally I decided, do I want to be a pallet flipper or do I want to keep these bar stools? The other question I asked myself is if I had $150 right now, would I spend it on bar stools? The answer to that was no, and the other answer was I want to be a pallet flipper. So I put these bar stools on Facebook Marketplace, and they sold really quickly for $150. I think they retailed like $75 a bar stool, so I think that was a pretty good deal. There was a yard snowman on there, like, you know, a lighted yard snowman. I sold for $50. The other tree, if you watched our first pallet video, you'll know that we had kind of a tree stand issue, so I ended up selling this tree for $20. The flatware set that we had, brand new flatware set, it was all in the box and everything, we sold for $30. There was a magnolia wreath. Well, it was a Christmas wreath, but it was by the brand Hearth and Hand Magnolia, whatever, Chip and Joanna Gaines brand at Target. This wreath, I don't know if it was like, I think it was like $45 retail or something. I put it on Facebook Marketplace for $20, and I had so many messages. Here was another thing where I had some tricky stuff with Facebook Marketplace. So I had a lady who wanted to buy the wreath for $20. And then I had another lady who messaged me, and I told her, I'm sorry, it's pending, someone else is coming to pick it up, and she said, I'll pay $25 for it. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I went back to the other lady, and I said, hey, I have an offer for $25, would you be willing to match that? And she was like really mad at me and said, no, I don't even want it, and sell it to the other lady. So the lady who offered me $25 ended up backing out. Well, I had so many messages about this, I was able to sell it for $20 to somebody else, but kind of some of the weird stuff that you can get into with Facebook Marketplace. So that wreath was a hot commodity. There was a lighted garland. This is really nice. I sold for $15. The dog pajamas. Oh my gosh, I think I had... My husband ended up giving... He works with a bunch of people that have big dogs. They were all for big dogs, like size large dog pajamas. I sold 3 of these dog pajamas for $15. My husband, I think, gave 4 of them away. We had so many dog pajamas. So, yeah. There was a picture ledge that I think retailed for like $20. I sold for $10. And then there was like a tree stand for like a real tree. It was fairly large, and I think it also retailed around $20 or something. I sold it for $10. That sold really quickly. We ended up keeping the glass jars that were on there, and the gray blanket that was on this pallet. The red blanket that we had on the other pallet, when I washed it, it like turned out fine. I mean, you could still tell it was kind of washed, but it wasn't like bad or anything. This gray blanket like clumped up and was really weird when I washed it. I'm kind of wishing I hadn't washed it and just sold it, but in the condition that it's in, I don't know if it's worth selling. I probably could still sell it, but I have not sold it yet, so kind of that's where I'm at with that one. So what I've not sold that we got on this pallet, so there was a cooling gel mattress. Again, it's December. So it was also for a full bed. My husband said if it was for a queen bed, which is what we sleep on, he would have kept this cooling gel mattress. But it is for a full bed. I think it retails for $100. I have it listed for $50, and I don't really want to move from there. I thought about taking it down and relisting it in the spring, but we'll see. There's this lamp that we got on this pallet. It's super weird. It's like, it comes with a light bulb. Like, the light bulb is attached to this lamp, like hanging off it in like a package. And the lamp is all in plastic too. The lamp does not have a shade. And if you scan the UPC, this lamp on Target.com does not come with a shade. Also, there's nothing in the lamp. It's one of those lamps that you fill it with whatever you want. Whatever. I don't know. It's super weird. It retails for like $90. I have it listed right now for $45 on Facebook Marketplace. And I've had goose egg amount of hits on it. There's no shade. You have to fill it with your own stuff. I don't know what I'm going to do with this lamp. It's weird. So I might have to like fill it with stuff and try and make it work. But so far it's kind of a weird lamp. So these curtains, so I had these huge blue curtains. It's a matching set. I think they retail for like $20 a piece. I have them listed as a set for $20. I've had, again, like 0 hits on these curtains. Linens do not do good for me, any type of linens. And then the truck sheets. These truck sheets are so stinking cute. When I first saw them, I was like, oh my god, Silas would love these. But they are for a queen size bed. So like the cutest little like toddler truck sheets, whatever, but they're for a queen size bed. So it takes a special person. I actually had quite a few inventories, and somebody was gonna buy them and like turn them into something else, not sheets and whatever. But yeah. So we paid $588 for this because we had cash, so we only had to pay taxes on the $550. So the pallet was listed for $550. We paid $588 because of the taxes on it. And so far, I have made $590 back. I think some of the clothing that I didn't add into here was part of this. There's a lot of stuff that we're gonna have for the garage sale, and we kept a couple of things off of this pallet. Again, I probably didn't keep the best records of this. And then I have about $150 worth of stuff still listed on Facebook Marketplace. Still left to sell. So, yeah, right now I'm not making a huge profit off of this pallet. But it sure was fun. Make sure that you check out my first pallet that I flipped. I will also be doing a video on the next pallet that I flipped, so be on the lookout for that. And if you would like to see more of my videos or any other content, any other questions, please leave it down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, and a thumbs up is the best compliment you can give us. Catch you on the flip side.